We should actually get started.
All right, let's do it.
Yep.
Here we go. Ready? Nope. Let's try that again. Nope. Let's try that again. There we go. It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks.
Oh, it's been exactly 2 weeks, as always. All right. Ready? Hey, welcome to episode 200 of Frenzy Gamer. I'm Nick. I'm here with Blake
Hey.
and Paul.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
It's been exactly 2 weeks,
It's been
as
exactly
always.
2 weeks.
And with it being a big 200, we've got nothing planned. So
I honestly forgot it was like the 200th.
well, yes, because it's just another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just every
Yeah.
2 weeks.
When it's so regular, it's really hard to.
Mm.
Yeah, the machine keeps turning at a normal
Keep
pace.
rolling,
The-
yeah.
All the gears have all the teeth. Nothing skipping.
The teeth are exactly spaced 2 weeks apart.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
That's how gears work.
Yep.
Let's kick it off with some questions. This is from Wiggy Wig. About Pee-wee not having anything collaborative, man, I wish so much that the 1K Kings March League would have any kind of community goals, like having millions of bars or shipments to unlock or something. Even cooler if something we did in PoE 1 would have effects in PoE 2, even just cosmetic stuff or buffs, and people would go nuts, me included. Yep, that's all fair.
Mm.
I don't know what the reason. I know, when I worked there, pitches for collaborative things like that definitely came up.
Mm.
I probably pitched it multiple times. I don't know what the reasoning is. I think in the case of it being the two games, I think that's probably a separation of powers there quite intentionally.
Mm.
Uh,
It's interesting. I actually talked with some of the guys at work a little bit about this, and it was it really ended up in a discussion of well, exactly how would it work in the game that actually feels rewarding and not just like watching a bar go up.
yeah,
Because I've played plenty of games that have community goals, like MMOs.
Yep.
A lot of them have them, and if you're playing individually,
Yeah.
you don't really feel like you're contributing anything. You're just watching a bar go up, and what it really is like big guilds of people, like collectively doing this stuff.
Yeah.
and they're doing like 99% of it.
Yep.
And everyone else is just doing like this small little thing, and it doesn't really feel communicative.
It's true of anything where like the bulk of the effort's going to be done by a small percentage.
Yeah.
But you have to figure out a way to make it rewarding.
Yeah.
No matter what your contribution level
Yeah.
is. But I also kind of think that's fine,
Yeah.
and doable.
Yeah.
Like, if for example, I think one of the challenges would actually be, let's say you're coming to the league late.
Mm.
So all of the community goals are done.
Oh,
What are
yeah.
you doing?
Yeah.
Or even if you're not coming to the league, you're a casual player, and
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
it's hard to calculate as well what those goals should be. So, for example, you're expecting 200,000 players, but you actually get 500,000 players. All of your goals are now
Mm.
like 2/5 of what they should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then it turns out people don't like the league, and so they drop off really fast. And so it actually turns out that all your goals are double what they should.
Yeah. What if nobody does any of the goals? Like.
So there's reasons why pitching that exact number could be really difficult.
Yep. Yeah, I know, and I don't like the feeling of just watching a bar fill up though. Like to me, that's just not an interesting thing.
But you
To
could
be-
that is what.
I know that's
That is
essentially what it is.
What do you think an experience bar is?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but this is the difference. I think this is the difference.
Yeah.
Where that's a personal.
Yeah.
You are personally doing things for
Yeah.
your own actions. You see
Yes.
your results.
Yes.
Like these community goals, depending on how you
Yes.
measure it or whatever.
Yes.
Like you could be playing 6 hours.
Yeah.
And the bar barely moves.
Yeah.
And you just don't feel like you're doing anything.
But this is a
right?
structural issue. Like, so for example, one way you could structure this is the bar moves when you fill up a personal bar.
Yes, I
Right?
like.
So
that
like,
is something
it is,
I would.
the goal
be on
is
board with.
contribute 20 bars.
Mm,
And when you do that, you add a pip to the global bar.
mm.
and when you do it,
Yeah.
you also get whatever the reward is for 20 bars, and then the next one is 50
This is-
bars. And so that like the people who can contribute vast amounts, their progression is tapered off a little bit because the actual goals rise.
Yeah.
And they can potentially rise exponentially, so that a person that is contributing 1,000,000 bars is actually only doing like double what a person contributing 1,000 bars
Yeah.
is doing, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there are ways to tackle that problem, but also is at the core of the question is it fun to grind very specific
bar.
things for,
Yeah.
for a long?
I don't think it
time?
is. I've done this in World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
and it's not.
But again, you
There-
could structure it, right?
Yeah, you can. Like, I think it's all about personal reward, right?
Yeah.
And it feels like something that what you just described, where you have your own personal bar with own personal rewards
Yeah.
that then contributes to a larger one. That might be great because in the end, maybe you don't particularly even need to worry about the community goal. It is just something that happens in the background as you are playing and getting your own rewards as you
Yeah.
go. And then, oh look, I played so much and I contributed a bunch. At the end, I get a bonus reward for
Yep.
basically doing so much. Maybe that's the way to go instead of this like I'm just a little drop in a bucket.
Yep.
And everyone like
Yes.
all the other big guilds are doing like 90% of it.
So one way you could structure it would be like you have 3 tiers of effort that a player can put in, and the tier 1 is I have to give 20 bars. Tier 2 is I have to give 500 of a specific currency, and tier 3 is I have to give 10,000.
So you're thinking you can
Of
like
another
specialize
thing.
in something
And
or
it's a case of like every time I complete one of those, it re-rolls to a new task, and the higher the effort, the more the reward, and I can decide actually I don't want to do another 50 bars. I might just go for the second tier, and maybe the next one will be but now I've got multiple goals I can pursue at once. Some small, some large, and some they will last indefinitely until I hand them in. And everybody has this, and everyone gets personal rewards, and then there's also the global rewards. And maybe the global rewards help make those larger rewards easier to complete, or something like that. So there's a bit of a self-feedback loop there as well. Where it's like, because everyone's doing the thing, my own personal goal becomes a little bit easier to achieve as well.
It is really to me it's a really interesting idea to talk about and figure out and like.
But ultimately, it does come down to can you have to know or have some way to tweak the requirements based on the number of players and their participation.
Yeah. Because either way, it's bad, right? If like nobody finishes it, or if everyone
done in a
finishes it
day.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's literally like this. You have to math it out, and there's not a whole lot of wiggle
it's a
room,
real
to be honest.
prediction kind of thing. I don't know how you figure that.
What if you pitch it just right and you get it perfect? And now the problem is that like the goal, everybody completes the goal with a week left in the league, and nobody's actually around to enjoy the reward because it's the last week of the league.
Yeah.
Like that's a real scenario. Like whatever, there's no perfect solution here. Even the most perfect solution has costs
It's
to it.
probably. I mean, if people were talking about this when you were there, it's probably then something that has been talked around and ended up being like, you know what, we can't figure out a way that feels good about this.
Yeah, and it's also very likely that they like looked at what their goals for the league would be. And like, what are players actually enjoying doing? What do we specifically want to work on in terms of gameplay or updates or whatever else? How do we make it fit?
Yeah,
there's lots of decisions that go on behind the scenes.
Yeah. Whose question was that?
That was WikiWig.
Yeah. So WikiWig also hit on potential cosmetic rewards, which I kind of really like that idea. Like we have done
Challenge
that.
rewards.
Yeah.
Where you get cosmetics.
Yeah,
as
I
you
really
complete.
like that. In in every game, I really like that. You just get
Yeah, you do
something
love playing
cool.
dress ups, don't you?
Sure. I've this is a side thing, but a little bit along that line, I've been dressing up my hideout in PoE, and I spent a ridiculous amount of time. Like,
And just for the record, you're an environment artist
yes,
on Path of Exile.
Yeah.
Your job is literally to dress up the environments, and you're like, oh, sick! I get to work for free.
yeah, I'm like, I'm doing this. Like, oh, finally, I spent all day doing that. Come home, oh, finally, I can relax.
Now I can do it
Spend
without
hours.
anybody looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Side note though, can you do mine? Because I've not messed with it at all.
Oh
And,
man, I would actually like to do that. It's really cool.
I always liked the hideout showcases.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Some
you
of
guys
those are
still do.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and very creative use of assets.
Yes,
Yeah.
really
To get
creative
the goals.
goals. I always remember one from years ago that had this like interesting like stone path.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did they do that?
And
And
it
it
was
turned out
books.
it was all books.
Yeah.
And they had them, individual bricks with these
Yes.
books. It's like
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yes, and I find it amazing because there was like a 500 asset limit or something like that, and the stuff people pull off,
Oh, yeah.
and also the places that people decide to spend that limit. For example, 250 books. That's half your limit to make a path, and then it's like, I guess I'm doing big walls.
Yeah. Oh,
But no, I always love the showcases. People are, in fact, not to like tell you how to do your job at all here, Blake. But if you're ever looking to hire another environment artist, start looking at those showcase folks.
well, that's interesting because our not our environment art test, but the level design art test is
Build a
Build
hideout.
a Hideout.
Interesting.
Well, that's one
cool.
part of it anyway.
That is cool.
Yeah.
All right, should we go on to another question?
Yep.
This is from a Mongolin. Actual question: roguelikes versus roguelites. Specifically, what do you think about having power tied to meta progression in those games? For me, the best option is to have meta progression that unlocks new characters, weapons, power-ups, but doesn't directly translate to more power. I.e., it's completely possible to finish a run on a fresh save if you're experienced / skilled enough. Well, anybody want to kick this?
I know where I
discussion?
fall on this.
Yeah, same. I'm actually more for the meta progression. I do think you should be able to beat the game
Yes.
on a fresh save.
Yes.
I think that's almost always true for these games, though.
Yes. Once
If you
when-
watch the people that are like really good at them, it's just
Yeah.
absurd. But I want the game to unlock things for me to get further as I go. I want
Yep.
some sort of progression that
it's a great system to calibrate your difficulty for different skill levels.
yeah.
A person who sucks can just grind away until they make it to the end,
Mm.
whereas someone who is really skilled can blast through on the first try. But I think roguelite is really good.
Mm.
There's as I'm sure you guys have always probably seen, there's systems that take it too far. I think Heroes of Hammerwatch was that one of them where it was like
Yeah.
the meta progression was like just a bit over the top, and you in one or two sort of rounds you're like, I'm now too powerful.
Yeah, that one was kind of bizarre. It was fun, but you could. It just felt very scaly in a way that I
Yeah.
wasn't a huge fan of. You can go too far with the other direction too, of the roguelites where you unlock a bunch of randomized options for runs, and then the next time you start the game, the random choices that you get are all ones you unlocked that you don't like.
Yep.
That was a big problem for me in Dead Cells.
Yes.
And Into the Gungeon, which was a game that I really liked. I mostly stopped playing because I unlocked too many things that made a bunch of the runs,
Oh, no.
the ones I didn't.
I suck at Enter the Gungeon, as it turns out. I think I've made it to like the fourth area and no further.
Yeah.
I haven't played heaps of it, but I've played enough of it to go, there's a lot to keep track of, a shocking amount to keep track of. It doesn't look like it, but like kicking over, flipping tables and dodge rolling over spikes and all that. Like there's a bunch of stuff that you have to kind of be aware of in any given scene. And also some of those bullet movement patterns are crazy.
Yeah.
Like the bird that drops the egg and then the eggs kind of crack into a bunch of bullets and the bullets fly in
Yep.
weird patterns. Like and that's just like one of the easiest examples. Yeah, I think what you've pointed out as a case of Dead Cells, it's interesting. Dead Cells kind of has some roguelite elements, but it's more on the rogue-like in that...
You still start from zero.
Yeah, actually, I take that back. There are some hard progression upgrades. You get more like flask uses and stuff.
Yeah, but then as
then
you
as
progress
you-
through the difficulty, you
difficulties
lose flask
remove them.
recharges. So it
Yes. So it's a weird one, right? Because it
Yeah.
adds power and then it takes it away along the same axis.
Mm.
But one of the things you brought up is yes, in any game where there is a randomized like build thing and what you actually unlock is more options for the randomized build thing, your runs become less consistent over time, and less consistency is harder
yeah.
because you get less synergy.
Did Noita have meta progression? I can't remember.
I don't know that I played enough of it to really find out. That game
Neither
was
did I.
Crazy.
That's the third area.
I'm trying to. It has. It has. I don't think so. I don't think it's any.
Yeah, I didn't think it did. It didn't
You-
seem like you were
You can unlock, I think, new options to start with,
right.
but I don't think you don't unlock more health or anything
No,
like that.
no.
It's just like more
You don't really-
stuff can show up earlier. I think.
Okay.
I might be mistaken about
Yeah.
that even.
Yeah, because it really felt like it was a one-run game, and then you just start over. And
Did you ever beat it?
No,
Nah, me neither.
I didn't even. I think I couldn't get past the third sort of biome.
I think I got down to like 5
Yeah.
maybe, and then like there are just too many ways to instantly die.
Oh, yeah.
There's the problem I had. You go into the wrong place, some chaos happens, and then all of a sudden you're starting over. And
Yep.
And you
it
can.
didn't always. Quite often didn't feel like you could have done anything about it.
Yeah, it's
No.
like, oh, you're hovering over the gap that you have to hover over, and then you run out of juice and you fall into acid and you die. And it's like, okay, well,
Or you just get frozen out of nowhere, and then,
Yep.
or get splashed by the stuff that turns you into a sheep, and then get one shot.
yeah, or your wand shoots a bullet that ricochets into an explosive that causes
Yeah.
a bunch of rocks to fall on your
I
head.
think
and
it's
you-
just like you'd have to be like Damo, right, and just play this for thousands of hours.
yeah,
To just
I don't
know
have the
exactly
patience.
exactly how everything works. Exactly what to watch
No, he
out
still
for.
dies like that for sure. He's told me stories of like the best run he's ever had,
Oh my god!
where he's like jetpacking around with a
Yeah.
wand, and then
One shot.
accidentally you get splashed by the stuff that turns you into a sheep, and that's it.
Oh my god!
Yep. Or you accidentally swap to the weapon that instantly kills yourself.
Oh.
Whatever it is. Like
Yep.
there's just so many ways.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I lean towards roguelites for the most part for that reason because I'm not a god gamer. I'm good.
It's just a good game.
I'm like above average, I would
Yeah.
say, but not so far above average that like I can finish most roguelites
Yeah.
or roguelikes in a single run. But I would imagine that the people who do play games like Rogue Legacy, for example, which had tons of roguelite meta
Oh yeah.
progression,
Yeah.
I bet you could get to a point where it's like I can just beat it in the first run,
Yeah.
and I think that's cool.
Well, I think
That's
if you play something long enough, you get extremely proficient at it.
Yep.
So there's a game. Maybe you guys have seen it. Baby Steps.
Yep.
So there's
think I
achievement
have.
for like.
It's a Bennett Foddy game. Do you know who Bennett Foddy is?
Yep.
Quap like.
It's-
It looks it looks really. It looks like a game I don't want to play, but I want to watch someone play.
Yeah,
And I've watched some of the X Giant Bomb guys play it, and it's pretty entertaining.
Yes,
I did fast forward through a few parts though, because I'm like, I don't care about
because
how long
the
it
giant
takes. them.
donkey penis that shows up.
What? No. What?
Okay, nothing. What?
What?
What did you say? Sorry, what did you say?
Didn't
You
see
said
this.
giant bomb. What I said giant bomb. What did
Yeah,
you say?
yeah. It sounded like that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
You'll get
But
there.
also the I mean, total side tangent, but the voice acting and the interactions with those characters in that game is so hilarious.
yeah, I think mostly improv, and then
Oh, it feels very, I don't know, kind of like that.
yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
It keeps things feeling lively.
Very Aussie.
Yeah, Bennett Foddy is Australian, and then there's like some American voice actors. And
Yeah,
stuff in there.
it's great. But I think that game has an achievement for never falling down. So it's expecting you to get so proficient
I
with
don't
that
think
game.
it's expecting you to. I think that's the wrong word. I do
It's
think it's given the
it's
option.
a joke. Like you can't. No one can ever
Well, yeah,
achieve
okay.
it. But it's like here's an achievement for it, and no one will ever get.
Why don't we talk about the game I've been playing because
Yeah.
it's kind of related. So I've been playing Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Mm.
Fantastic game.
Yep.
Loving it. It's brutally hard.
Mm.
Um,
Is it too hard?
I don't think so. I think a lot of the complaints about the difficulty stem from enemies that deal double damage that do not, and all these complaints don't factor in the fact that you heal 3 health points instead of 1. And they also don't factor in like those people played so much of the original Hollow Knight
Yeah.
that they know how all the boss fights work. They know how all the enemies
Yeah,
work, and
yeah.
they play through that game and like this game is not the Silk Song's so much harder because I don't know how the real reason is because you don't know how any of the fights work.
Yeah, because you
don't
haven't
know how
played
the enemies-
1,000 hours in it, and you
Exactly.
don't know it. Yeah, yeah.
Like I initially felt like yeah this game's a lot harder, but then I start playing some of those old areas again. I was like no, it's just I
Yeah.
didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
But there's you once you quote unquote beat the game, you unlock Steel Soul mode,
Oh yeah.
and the original Hollow Knight had this as well, which is basically permadeath.
Oh,
If you die once, you start again, the whole game.
that's tough.
And this is a game that if you were really, 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 really good, it's probably going to take you 15 hours to do all of the stuff. If you know where you're going, doing everything, like an actual speed run is probably like 6 hours.
Yep.
So that's really a long time to go without dying at all.
Yeah.
And the game is hard. It is very hard.
Yeah.
So, but they've added Steel Soul mode for the people who
Yep.
are obsessive and who will play that game
Yep.
100 times.
I think-
And
yeah.
I think it's probably a similar vibe with Baby Steps. If you really love your walking sim,
Yeah.
I guess you can do a version where you don't fall down.
I mean, there's people that there's just this thing, right, where people get so good at one particular game that then they need to create new challenges for themselves. Like I remember people seeing what ridiculous handicaps they can give themselves for Dark Souls.
Uh-huh.
Like people were playing it on a Dance Pad
Yeah.
Revolution.
Yeah.
I'm sure I saw someone play with like a controller that was like a potato or something like that. That like
Someone beat Silk Song on a saxophone.
it's great.
But I mean, one of my favorite examples is the Mario 64 as few A presses as possible challenge.
oh
A is jump.
yeah,
So the idea is you play through Mario 64 doing as few jumps.
Yeah.
That's the only thing
what he's
Mario
known
does is
for.
jump.
that's the main thing.
It's just he was originally called Jumpman.
Yeah, that's like Sonic not running.
Yeah. It's like gotta go slow.
Yeah, gotta walk.
You gotta walk.
It's the walk challenge. You gotta
Sonic,
walk.
gotta stand still.
You gotta play as only Tails.
But like I think those self-imposed challenges are great,
Yeah,
and they result in some fantastic explorations of the game mechanics
Yeah.
and code base.
yeah. It
The-
is really cool. Like it's just a cool as it just shows how much people really love a game and the challenge of it. I think.
Also, I kind of think the games where the challenges get really strange, like the no jumping in Mario kind of thing, that is like a highlight of how much longevity that game has.
Yeah.
Mario 64,
Oh yeah.
still a great game. There are not many games that are, at this point, 30 years old
Oh my
that you can
God.
point to and say, this is
Yeah.
still, like, fully fun to play.
It is great. I loved that game. I could have sworn it was so funny when I played it for the first time a few years ago.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 10 years ago now. I hadn't played it since I was a kid. Back then, I could have sworn like everything was 3D. All the trees were 3D. like
There's
everything.
so many good tricks to make it
and
3D.
and seeing it now, I'm like, oh my god, there's so much of this
Everything's
world is
3D.
just cards, and it's like
Yeah.
cards that just always face you. I'm like,
But bombs a circle.
yeah,
Trees are 3 circles.
yeah. And I'd never, when I was a kid, I could have sworn it was like this
Yeah.
amazing 3D world.
Yeah, but they did a lot with the simple tech they
Yeah.
had back then. In fact, that 0 A press or like as few A presses as possible Mario run, they have some. They go. There is like a 45-minute video going into. There's a video called "What is a half A press?"
Oh no.
And then it says, first we need to talk about parallel worlds.
Oh no.
So one of the things about Mario 64 is the geometry that you see
Yeah.
exists mathematically, like as a collision map,
Mm.
that if you go far enough outside the bounds of the world, you will end up in a parallel version of the collision map that has
Oh.
no visible geometry, but you can still move around on it.
Oh, weird.
So you have to build up enough speed
Yeah.
to get to, and you can use this to shortcut through the world by like jumping 300 times the
Yeah.
size of the universe to the
Jeez.
side, and then up, and
Yeah.
like it's fascinating that they with them because it's all just math,
Yeah.
and the way they exploit the math to do things to avoid jumping.
Break the world.
in the game about jumping. Oh, it's great stuff.
That's amazing.
If you've ever wanted to break your brain, look up the half A press Mario.
I think I'd heard of that, the half A
good.
press, like
So good.
yeah, like some kind of speed run thing or something I'd heard of. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's not speed run. It's a no jump run, or as few jumps as
no,
possible.
but like the term half A press, I'm sure I'd heard that before. So.
Yeah. It's from this.
It's from that?
It's from this.
Oh, okay.
It's specifically the way it works. Remember, now we're getting into a rabbit hole. But like, you would use a jump in
Yeah.
a previous level, and then hold the button down. You would not release the button,
Okay.
so that when you release the button, you get a different action. I don't remember the specifics.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
I forget the specifics, but like the idea is that it's a half A press because the button is already pressed.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you are releasing it to achieve something.
Weird. Okay.
And that's what, and they calculate how many. This you can do this all 6 stars in this map with half an A press.
Wow. Strange.
It's so good. Anyway, should we go on to another question?
Yep.
Zenix says, Stardew has some great mods that do exactly what you're asking about. I recently did a playthrough that was lightly modded, and it took away the super granular annoyances, and I really enjoyed it. I played 500 hours before mods, and now I don't know if I will go back. I am curious, because we were literally just before this podcast talking about mods.
Hmm.
Blake downloads mods for almost every game he plays.
Yeah, there's always a point where I'm like, I want to see if where something will annoy me in a game, or I think something could be improved.
Yep.
And I'm like, I wonder if there's a mod for it.
Yeah. Paul, do you do mods?
Almost never.
Yeah, same. So I'm curious because like there are things in Stardew that annoy me a little bit, but also like it's a pretty easy going game. I don't know what I would want to mod out.
It seems like it would be more like adding stuff than modding out.
Well,
Well, they said like stuff that they were.
yeah, it
annoyed
took away the
with.
May-
super granular annoyances. Now
Maybe
Yeah.
there's a factory mod that turns it into a factory game that would make
God,
Stardew
no.
worth playing.
no. Oh,
'Cause
that's a nightmare.
I think of it
There are
like,
already factory elements in there. I don't want anything else.
because I think about like Minecraft, right? People mod that to be basically a different game.
I don't think Minecraft would be what it was without its mods. What it is now,
Oh, yeah.
without the mods,
The mods were a
it
big
gave it an entire life
Yeah.
that I
I
don't
mean,
think it would have
There,
had.
there are games that have spawned from mods.
Yeah.
Dota.
Yeah,
I mean, more of a custom map than a mod, but
sure, but still, like,
it is a player created
yeah.
game.
DayZ.
Oh,
DayZ,
yep.
Yep. Counter Strike.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. Actually, actually, yeah, yeah. DayZ, yeah, but then by extension, Fortnite, because Fortnite was not what Fortnite is now when it was first created.
The Fortnite was a mode, though. The
yeah,
Fortnite
it
that we
wasn't
know
quite a
now
mod.
was a mode. It
Yes,
used
but
to
that's
be.
only because of DayZ, but then DayZ led to PUBG, which
Ah.
then led to
Fortnite.
Fortnite
Yeah.
as we know it now.
Yeah. Well, I do.
Hang
think
on,
it's-
PUBG was also a Armor mod, right? Armor 3 mod.
Yes. Yes, it
DayZ,
was.
no, DayZ was the Arma 3 mod.
I thought
Were they
PUBG
both?
was as well.
Were they both? Oh,
It
maybe.
might have both been.
I never played
But
it,
I
but
know
I just
PUBG
remember...
came. I'm sure PUBG came from DayZ. There's a
This is something. So when I worked at Playside,
yeah.
this is something I discussed, which was like, so we were working on this RTS, and I said like, we need to make sure that we are building it in such a way that we can have mod support.
Mm.
Like, I don't download mods, but what I understand is from a business standpoint, mods can turn a niche financial failure of a game into a mega hit.
Yep.
And I think Arma 3 is the perfect example.
Yeah. So
Who
PUBG,
played Arma 3 for Arma 3? Nobody. Because that game is like,
It's a military simulator.
it is obtuse.
Yeah.
It is hard to get
Yeah.
into. And it like is brutal. And then people made a bunch of mods, and I bet it sold really well. Like I bet the people who bought that game for the mods outscale the game who bought it for the outscale the people who
sure.
bought the game for the game 10 to 1 at least.
Yep.
I think that is like if you're not building your game with mod support in mind, you are locking off the potential for your game to do very well.
Like look at Skyrim, right?
Yep.
I mean,
well, Skyrim was not struggling.
no, it wasn't. But its life was vastly extended because of mods.
Yes.
Like people still play it today.
Yes. I wonder. Now, this is the thing that like PC has as a huge advantage over consoles. I wonder what a console mod support ecosystem would or could look like.
It would have to be. Oh man, I don't know. I guess it would have to be like the Steam Workshop, because that's all within Steam.
Yes.
And it's all the Steam interface, and you just click on a thing, and then it's all there.
Yeah.
But not every Steam game supports that.
Yeah.
So like Kingdom Come Deliverance doesn't support that. I had to go to Nexus Mods and download something, but the game itself was set up to support it, because you go into the files and you just create a folder that's called mods, and you just put everything in there.
Yeah.
So they had already set it up to be like mod friendly.
Of course.
Yeah.
Isn't there a Nintendo game that's all about building other games for people to play?
I mean, Super Mario Maker. That was basically like you're making Mario levels.
there's
What was
another one
WarioWare?
though.
What was that?
WarioWare, then you're not building games.
What are you doing in there?
You're just playing mini games
Oh.
at a increasingly fast speed.
Okay.
Wait, it's not Nintendo.
You're thinking of Dream or Dreams?
That was one. Yep.
Or Little Big Planet had kind of that same vibe.
That's the one that I was
Oh,
trying to
Little
think
Big
of. That was
Planet.
PlayStation though, I
That's
think. not-
PlayStation. But Super
Nintendo.
Mario Maker
Those
has
were more maps though. Those are more like you're making.
yes, but I remember because it was one of the first articles I wrote for IGN back in like 2008.
Yeah.
There was a postman, and I interviewed him in France, who made a map that was a functional calculator
Oh, in Little Big Planet.
in Little Big Planet.
Wow,
So
cool.
you would basically
neat.
you'd be able to put in some numbers, and then you'd be able to add, subtract, multiply, or divide
Yeah.
them.
So
And
they had created all the tool like
the logic gates and whatever
yeah
else.
yeah. So all that was available to players to
yeah, and it
use,
was
to
not like
build.
intentional. They did not say
Yeah.
you buy this game, you can make a calculator.
Yeah yeah.
It was just this guy was like, they have enough of the tools, I can
Yeah.
put together a rudimentary calculator.
Yeah.
And he shows, like, it shows how he does an example. There's a video of him like doing an example, pressing some things,
Yep.
putting numbers in, multiplying, get the result. And then he flies his character up to show the amount of work that goes into that, and it's hundreds of rope connected to
Oh,
little
boy.
blocks, and like it is mind-boggling
Yeah.
the amount of organization and logic that he had to do to do something like that.
But
But
you've seen people build computers in Minecraft.
Yes.
right? Which
Yeah.
is the
I've
same. Yeah.
someone built the original Pokemon or something in Minecraft.
Oh.
You could play it on the screen. They made like a fake LCD
Yeah.
screen within Minecraft. The blocks would toggle between gray and black.
Oh
or
my
whatever.
god, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And it's just a
amazing.
landscape of
I think the-
of computer stuff around, right?
yeah. The
Yeah.
difference though is on a console, generally for that sort of thing, when you're building it, you're using the console interface, which is a controller, which is very laborious. For Minecraft, I think most of those things like building a functional Game Boy inside of
Yeah.
Minecraft was probably done in code outside
Yeah.
of Minecraft, and then
Oh, yeah.
like ported it.
Oh,
Like-
that's less impressive.
Is it though? Because you're still using the tools inside of
Yeah.
Minecraft. You're just abstracting them.
I suppose, but it's more impressive to think that you were flying around in creative mode, like building this whole.
That just
I mean,
feels like
a lot of people-
the same thing, but way slower. Well, like once you know how to do it,
Yeah. There are things. There's like an example. There's a map that is trying to recreate the world 1-to-1 within Minecraft, the real
Yeah.
world. So
Yeah.
you can go and you can visit New York City, and you can walk around and see all of the buildings in New York City
Yep.
in Minecraft.
Yep.
So like that all has to be done in creative mode because
Sure.
there's not
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
a good tool to build a building,
Yeah.
a 3D shape of blocks in code. But like, you know, for something that is essentially just a bunch of logic,
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with them doing it in like WordPad or
I mean,
whatever.
it's impressive no matter what, really.
yeah. Should we go on to another question?
Yep.
That didn't really answer the question. It wasn't really even a question. It was a statement about how much they like. Zinix, why don't you tell us what kind of mods?
Yeah.
'Cause, I play Stardew Valley. I haven't played in a while, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
Of course, I am playing it on the Switch, so anything you're going to tell me is going to be useless to me. But I'm still curious.
I should quickly point out, though, I did Google it. PUBG was originally an Arma 3 mod.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So DayZ and PUBG.
Both came out of that game.
Okay.
Man,
That's-
amazing. Why Arma 3? What was it about that game that was just like so
I
attractive to like people modding it? Was it just
well, that's,
heavily
that's exactly what I'm
moddable?
getting
I
at.
suppose.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
right. You make your game easy to mod,
Mm.
and
But also for such a, like you say, obtuse
yes,
game, it's like, okay, it's really easy to mod, but it's like its base game is like really.
Well, I wonder if it's because like that game was it's a military sim,
Yeah.
right? So it's probably got really good projectile physics simulation.
Mm.
It's got like good grounded world physics, that kind
Yeah,
of thing,
yeah.
so that when you're running around, it feels good to use.
Mm.
It's just that like if you're trying to play a military mission, it probably sucks because like you get died. You get died.
You get
You
died.
get died so quick.
You get died.
All right,
You get
slippery.
stuck in prone.
Yeah, you stuck in prone forever.
Yeah.
That's what
Yes,
getting died
forever.
is.
Did you ever play DayZ? Did anybody of us ever play it?
I didn't.
Nope.
No, neither did
How
I.
about PUBG?
I play PUBG.
I never played PUBG either.
I think I've played maybe 4 or 5 rounds of Fortnite.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I played Fortnite years ago with a few mates and his nephew, who was, I think, 13 or 14 at the time.
Yeah.
And he was carrying us.
Yeah.
We were such old men who were like, why can't I just shoot? Why do
Yeah.
I have to build
Yes,
things?
the building is what threw me off.
Yeah.
Because like you can go pretty well with just shooting,
Yeah.
and then like the last 10 people are like building a tower,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I know.
just
It's just
shooting
wild.
up into the sky, and you're just standing there
Yeah.
getting burned by the laser, going, I don't know.
They have a I think they've had it for a few years now. They have a no build mode.
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we played Apex Legends.
Oh yeah.
Back when you were Severn.
Yep. I
That's
remember
right,
that.
Yeah.
And that was a good time.
Yeah.
Like I don't have anything wrong. I think the mode itself, that sort of battle royale,
Oh no, I like that.
is
Yeah.
it's a
I think
fun.
it's cool.
You have to have a lot of players
Mm.
for it to feel good. Though, 'cause
Yes. You do.
chances are you die in the first minute or
Yeah.
two, and then if you have to wait 10 minutes to get into another game, that sucks.
Did I ever tell you way back when I was playing Ark? Maybe I mentioned this way back when I was playing Ark, but there was a battle royale mode
Okay.
that was very much like Hunger Games. That would like it would
Run-
show up in the sky when somebody died.
Yeah, that's cool.
But you would all start in the middle, and there'd be a cache of weapons and
Yeah.
armor and all sorts of stuff. And everyone would run to the middle. Loads of people would die, but me
Yep.
and my friends ran off into the woods, and the circle slowly got
Yeah.
a lot less and
Sure,
less. But
sure,
then
sure.
there were also like environmental hazards that would happen every few minutes. So there'd be acid rain, or there'd be like little raptor attacks and all this sort of stuff. And you'd be like huddling in this, like you'd be half trying to survive while also half trying to like tech up,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and tame dinosaurs for the final like the final fight at the end.
Yeah, that final push.
And me and my friends, we survived basically to the last like less than 10 people, and
Yeah.
we got back to the center, and we were like, we've got some raptors, we've got some dinosaurs, we're gonna be good.
Yeah.
We've got some guns. We showed up, and there was like an army of T-Rexes,
Oh no.
giant long neck dinosaurs, and we were like,
I guess we're done.
yeah, that's it.
As far as we go. Yeah.
It was great fun though.
It sounds cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
All right. Slippery Jim says, I wish I got into terrariums for the pretend I'm a god aspect, but a hobby where I can just put dirt in a jar and forget about it is a pretty good hobby. Yeah.
That's my that's how I garden.
Yeah. Yep, that's true.
It's mostly
I don't know if the pot, like, even saying the pot is a little bit, like, generous, given the current state of the pot.
Well, yeah, okay.
It's a broken pot inside another pot.
For those who don't know, Blake had a potted plant, a succulent, and the pot broke. And so it was like a third of a pot
Yeah.
and a bunch of soil falling out of the pot and the succulent hanging on for dear life. And it was like that for what? 6 months?
Probably.
And then I gave you a pot.
Yeah.
And what did you do?
I put it in the pot.
Sorry, be more specific.
I put the succulent along with its broken pot
Yes.
in the pot, and then put dirt on it.
Right. So now you have a succulent on a pot shard
It's
inside of a
thriving.
pot.
It's thriving.
It does
is
actually
doing-
look quite hefty.
It's doing really well
Oh, great.
because it's not just in the open
Well,
air.
part of me, part of the reason I did that was that, look, this thing was hanging on. I didn't want to like take it out because I was worried that me taking it out
Yeah.
and trying to replant it would just kill it. So I was like, you know what?
That's
It's still
so-
alive. It's still alive in this dirt. I'm just going to put
someone
this
who's
dirt.
never seen a plant before.
I'm just going to put this dirt.
It's been thriving like with its roots exposed
Yeah,
to the air.
Exactly. I didn't want to take
On
it
a
fully
broken
out.
pot.
That might be the final straw that eventually kills it.
Not just that. It's the kind of succulent where if you take a leaf off, it becomes a full succulent.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
Like
that thing.
that is where that's how you got it from me because
Yeah.
it was a leaf.
Yeah.
I said, here, put this leaf in the ground. You'll get yourself a succulent, and he did.
It was so tiny to start with. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Actually.
It's quite a nature.
They're
Nature
great
be
plants.
crazy.
Those are my. Okay, so
That plant didn't get dyed.
no, because
It's still prone.
they're really
Yeah,
good
still
at
prone.
surviving, and that's my kind of plant.
Yeah, yeah. You play. You
Give me
you
a
were,
give me a weed.
All right, this is from Fuwasan. They say about playing within a friend group with experienced players and newcomers. I usually try to implement some kind of fun challenges or handicaps that make the experience harder on those that would go too fast, like playing PoE. But the experienced players can't equip an item of higher level than the ones the newcomers have in a given slot, thus incentivizing the new experienced players to find gear for the newcomers or giving them time to upgrade it on their own, or playing Factorio, but some players cannot handcraft. I also recommend playing support builds / characters. It's a good way of combining the objective of playing well with one of the one of giving my friends a good experience. I
the
think
support thing there is like a great.
That's a good
yeah,
one.
that's a really good one.
I think that's 100% on the mark.
What's a good? What's a,
Speaking of Mark,
Yeah.
Mark II of like basically game director.
yeah,
I don't know what his role is now, but like when he was just like in QA,
yeah.
his whole thing was he would basically only play support characters.
Oh, right.
Because
He loves playing Autobots.
he's ridiculously good at the game,
yeah.
and I think it's not fun for him to just be plowing through enemies by himself. So like playing an Orobot, playing a support character, and helping everybody else have a good time is his jam, and I think that's awesome. So I think you're 100% on the mark. I kind of think you still have the issue giving an incentive to give newcomers like gear is maybe the opposite. So if I'm playing a game like PoE and my friend is really experienced and I'm new, I do not want
Yeah.
them giving me a bunch of legendaries and making
Yep.
me build.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to find the gear. I want to find my own build. You know, they might say, look at a build guide, and then maybe I'll look at a build guide. Maybe I'll follow that build guide. But it's me making that decision. It's not the stuff being handed into
Yeah.
onto my character.
I always say to new people I usually just say, just do what is fun to you, and even if that like wrecks their build,
Yeah,
at least they've learned. You've learned something,
yeah. For a game like
because
PoE,
that's literally how I started.
yeah,
That's like I wasn't following a build guide. I was just going along the passive tree to figure out what was good, and then as you slowly get a little more familiar with things, then I would start looking up stuff. And
Yeah.
Go, oh, okay. I'll respec a little bit here and respec a little bit here, because I find if I follow a build. If I follow a build, I'm just following the build, and I don't know why.
yeah.
It's like, why am I taking these nodes? I don't know. The build just says to take them.
Yep. I think for a game like PoE, and another game I would relate this to is RimWorld. Embrace the fact that you're going to fail first. Like,
Yeah.
Your first character is not going to get far. You might make it to level 20 or 30, and then you're going to run out of damage. You're not going to have enough health or whatever else. You're going to die a bunch. You're going to get frustrated. And the thing you should do at that point is start again and use the knowledge and items you've accumulated to make a better character.
That's true, because you've got shared items across your characters, so it's never a waste. You're never starting from scratch again. I literally did this in this last league. I started a sorceress, and I was planning to make like a crazy fireball build, and I got like halfway through Act 4, and for my fire sorcerer, I was using Ice Nova for like everything, and I'm like, this sucks. And my fireball was just like I didn't feel like
Wasn't doing enough.
I didn't do anything. So I did a bit of research, and I looked up like, oh, sorcerer is better for, she's the elemental master, but she's better for all elements combined together and using synergies for them. If I wanted to go full fire.
Yeah.
Playing a witch was actually better because she had an ascendancy that was an infernalist that just
Right.
has like fire damage stuff. So I was like,
Yep.
okay, started again with that. Fantastic.
Breezed
Breezed through,
Yep.
took a bunch of gear off that sorcerer, and it was great. And it was like everything I'd learned on that sorcerer, I had applied to my next character, and I had a blast.
Yeah, and in a game like Pee-wee in particular, that second run through feels great because with all that new gear, that first act you just blow through it.
You've got with
then-
money as well. Money is shared between your characters, so you start off with like a lot more.
Yep.
You just start off with more resources, and so it's like an easier. It's easier getting going.
It feels a bit like a survival game in that like
Yeah.
you're that initial few days you're struggling, you're just trying to get through and survive, and then you establish a base, and then like you kind of start losing some of the fun. And then you start again, and it's like, now I know how to build a base, and I build a base really
Now I know
fast,
what I'm
and now
doing,
I'm
yeah.
pushing through. And
A lot of the games I play like that, all those grand strategy games, it's like
Yep.
the first few empires are
Yep.
just fall
Civ.
to the ground.
X4,
X4, yeah.
any game where there's like a steep learning curve,
Yes.
I kind of think embrace restarting even a few times because you're gonna have a better time each time.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's great. And yeah, I really just encourage people to do what they think is cool and what is fun for them. And then they'll learn as they go.
Yep. Last question is from a Mongolin. I played League of Legends when it first came out in early access or beta in 2010 or so. When it comes to toxicity, I never really cared about being called names. I would just mute people or whatever. However, it would usually lead to people not caring about the game or wanting to lose on purpose just to ruin someone else's day. You would have people feeding the enemy on purpose, going 3 people the same lane, going AFK, or just giving up and wanting to surrender ASAP. As a result, 9 out of 10 matches would be totally unbalanced. Either you would squash the enemy team because it happened to them, or you would be in an unwinnable situation. Maybe 1 out of 10 matches was actually fun. Considering that each match would take 20 to 30 minutes, you quickly realize how much time you waste on stuff you don't enjoy at all. Yet young me would play it for like 3 to 4 years. Yep, that's League of Legends. Still the same.
But you can't speak, right? That's the
You can unlock it in the menu, but by default, chat is turned off, and I think it's honestly better that way.
I might have mentioned this before, Ray, where it's like I do feel that game developers a few years ago realized that you can feel a real connection with fellow players if you can't speak to them.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, do you remember that game Journey?
Yes.
So you can't speak to other
can-
players, but they phase in,
Yeah.
and then you're journeying together for a while. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do any like emotes or anything.
You can express yourself through jumping and all.
Yeah, but like that's all you can do, and you
turning around
feel.
and-
To me, you
Yeah.
feel a more connection with this
Yes,
person than if they were like, "Sup, noob."
Yes. Yes. Yeah. There was a game called what was it called? The Forest? No, something like Magic Forest.
Oh, Endless Forest.
Endless Forest?
Yes, where
That's
you're
the
a
one.
deer.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yes. I don't know if it's still going. There was a fascinating game, but basically you would be a deer with a human face, and the forest was just a forest. There was nothing to do.
Mm.
You could go up to other players and just kind of wiggle or jump.
Yep.
You could there were a few emotes you could do, like you could bow, you could maybe make a noise, like you could. There are some sort of gestures you could do, but you couldn't talk. You couldn't attack. You couldn't do anything to the environment. Really,
I think you just wandered around.
you just wandered around. And if you did this, if you played for like a year or something like that, your deer would get bigger and you'd get a different face.
Wow.
And
What?
people did it. A lot of people did it.
I remember that being. I wonder if it is still around.
It was an art experiment
Ah.
by a development studio that basically just made artsy fartsy games.
Oh, okay.
But I love it. It touches upon
Yeah.
your thesis
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah.
People formed connections there would be forums where people would talk to each other outside of the game, but they would make friends in the game initially.
Yeah.
So I think that's quite
Yeah.
interesting.
And I suppose with no like goal, there's nothing for people to kind of get
mad
Well,
about.
yeah,
mad
you
about.
had no. You also had no choice but to just communicate through
Yeah.
gesture. There's just nothing else to do.
Yeah,
Um,
it's interesting.
yep. Well, that's all the questions. We've got a little bit of time left. I mentioned I've been playing Silksong.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly touch upon that game. Is really good. It's really hard. I'm like up to Act 3. Getting into Act 3 was hard. Act 3 itself is brutal.
Hmm. How many
Um,
acts? How many acts?
3, I believe.
Ah.
There's tons of secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are veering into too obscure,
Oh, okay.
but that's kind of the nature of this kind
yeah.
of game.
Yeah.
I have not had to crouch in a nest and pretend to be an egg.
Not that obscure yet.
So we're not at Dark Souls levels of obscure.
Are you at a level where you are looking on Reddit or forums for community kind of like?
There's wikis and stuff,
Yeah.
and I've had a look at some of them. I in fact trying to get into Act 3. I don't. Paul, you were playing it a bit, and you said you dropped off. So
Yes.
I don't know if you want me to spoil things.
No, I don't think I'll go back.
Oh,
It was cool, but
why don't we talk about that really quick? Why you dropped off? How come?
I got stuck on a boss.
Which boss?
The Widow, I think.
That is a hard boss.
Yeah, the main reason I stopped playing was that I got quite frustrated with the first phase of it is really easy, then it has a second phase, and the telegraphing of the abilities are that these white lines light up
Yes.
where
You see a sort
the
of
boss
red.
is also white, or and in the second half of the fight, it all speeds up a bit,
Yeah.
and I couldn't see both.
Okay.
And the reason I was dying is that I would get hit by her when,
Yes. Dodging the balls.
yeah,
Yes.
and I get annoyed when things are visually unclear. It's kind of one of my biggest, like before that, I was really enjoying the difficulty of the game. There was one bit that I found really hard that we talked a bit about, and
Morrowind.
you'd like, yeah.
Mm.
Well, that first bird room with the bird
Oh yes.
challenge.
Yes.
I talked to someone else; they really struggled in that room as well.
Interesting.
So I think it must just be about how when you get there
Yeah.
or why. That was
Yeah.
the first difficulty point, but then the other bosses I'd not really struggled with. Like they would take a few tries to get, but that was the first one that
Felt too punishing.
it just wasn't clear enough what was happening for me to
I
be willing to keep trying.
I struggled with that boss for quite a while. Same part where like I get through the first two. It's really kind of 3 phases. The first 2 phases are like it feels like a normal fight, and then the boss kind of dies and then comes back.
Yeah.
Right? And that last phase is the killer. The thing, I kind of get where you're coming from with the visual clarity thing. I think part of it is it's you can see the balls, you can see the trajectory of the balls. It's not from my perspective. The issue is not that the boss was white so much as the boss, that becomes unpredictable in its attacks. Typically, it will do like sort of a dashing attack, and like in the first phases, it'll drop some balls, and then it might do a dashing attack across the screen, and then it might do like a, I forget the exact moveset. But in the second phase, it will do balls and a dashing attack at the same time. And if you're not expecting it, you're gonna get hit by the dashing attack almost every single time.
Yeah.
And it might not always do the dashing attack. It might dash away and then do another set of balls.
But you would look at the boss to tell what the next move was going to be.
Yes.
And I would instead be looking at these, the telegraphing of the other attack,
yes.
and not be able to see. Like I found myself several times looking around trying to find where the boss was to see what ability it was
Okay.
going to use. Which, and funnily enough, I ended up looking this up on Reddit because I was like, this fight is like, there's got to be a trick to it or something. And the top Reddit post was someone being like, oh, this fight changed the game for me. It made me start liking it again. And I was like, this might just not be
You're
for
kinda-
me.
Yeah. It's that was a hard boss, and it's interesting. There's a game where there's a few bosses that feel very out of the difficulty curve, and that one is 1. And then I've had the opposite, sort of about halfway through, not even halfway, like a third of the way through part 2. There's a clockwork boss fight where it's these 2 clockwork dancer bugs, and it's beautiful, and they telegraph their moves very clearly, and I thought it was very easy.
Yeah.
It was one of the easiest fights in the game. I died once against it, kind of because I was just kind of enjoying the fight.
Yeah.
It just like is very satisfying with its movement, and then I beat it the second time, and I kind of regretted beating it the second time because I was having such a good time fighting it. But it was so much easier than everything else before and after that I was like kind of surprised. I just got up to a version of that fight which is significantly harder. Like they start in part 3 they kind of do some remixes of fights, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
But I just think maybe one of the biggest flaws of that game is sort of the inconsistency of difficulty, and part of that is I think that different fights lean into difficulty in different ways. So in the Widow's case, it is having to keep track of 2 kinds of attack at once, like the bouncing balls that come at specific trajectories and the boss's movement itself. And in like the boss that immediately precedes that, the Sister Splinter,
Yeah.
it's this big boss that's hanging down from the ceiling. It does these crushing attacks, but then it also summons ads. And the ads were the actual difficulties because the boss's moves are very
very
easy
clear.
to predict,
Yeah.
very clear. You can it has a very like exploitable movement pattern, and then it throws 2 ads at you, and the ads can mess you up if you don't take them out fast.
Yeah. They also provide a thing to bounce off, though, to deal way more damage to that boss.
See, I did not do that at all.
Oh, right.
So I struggled with that boss a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I died a few times to it.
yeah.
Overall, I thought that was a cool fight. All the other ones before that, and even the first phase of Widow, I thought was just like fun boss fights.
I think that there's a boss fight that comes kind of after Widow that would probably also frustrate you. And then after that, you'd have a good time again.
Yeah.
But there's a boss fight. There's one of the hardest things about Silksong is the run back to your cocoon.
Yep.
If you die, like Dark Souls, you drop all your stuff and you have to go and find your souls or whatever again. But there are a few spots in this game where the run back to your body is hard.
Yeah.
And the boss that you do after Widow has one of the most obscene corpse runs. It's so hard.
Is it worse than trying to get up? What's the sandworm area called?
The blasted steps, or do you mean the worm?
The like sandy worm area.
Yeah, the
with
blasted steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't get the what's they called?
The fleas.
The chairs that you sit on to save.
Yeah, the bench.
The bench. If
Yeah.
you don't get the chairs that the bench. You have to go all the way from the bottom down there,
Yeah.
jump up,
Yeah.
go across, go back through that sand area to get back up to the right. That was pretty horrific.
To get where though? Because the blasted steps is where this fight is.
Oh,
The fight I'm talking about is the entrance to the Citadel. And to get to the entrance to the Citadel, there is a bench right next to the travel, there's like the Bellway beast thing. You know what I'm talking about? It's the fast travel system in the game. And there's a bench, and you have to kind of run to the right, and then you have to do a bunch of platforming over those sandworms and spikes and like bugs that shoot drills at you, and hanging bells and spiky walls and narrow walls and falling rocks, and you do a bunch of platforming, and then you can eventually get to where the boss is. And by that stage, you have half your health missing.
That's tough.
And it's already taken. I got really good at it by the end. It would take me about a minute and a half at full speed to get from like the bench to the boss. But like that's still a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Once you know the path really well,
How did
what was the boss there?
you might not have fought it yet. It's called the last judge.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I had to go through there like so many times.
I don't know why you would have, because you're not up to that part yet.
Well, it gets even worse than that. Before I got the jump ability,
Yeah.
I found out that you could deal damage down to the things and jump across. So I'd gone across there before
Yes.
you even supposed to.
Yeah.
A bunch of times before realizing that I wasn't actually meant to be there yet.
There are a few places quite early on where you can jump off of enemies to get to places
Yeah.
you're not supposed to get to technically.
It feels like you're supposed to do that.
Yeah,
Which is
but I
why-
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that there's a bunch of stuff you can get, a bunch of currency, you can even get a couple early mask shards, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's designed such that an expert player can recognize that this is an opportunity, and an amateur player might not, and will just sort of stick to the easier path.
Yeah, I just didn't realize that later you were going to get a way to get there easily.
You don't get it. I mean, you do kind of get a way to get there easily, but I'm not sure what you were doing over there.
Oh, it was a way to go.
It was a way to go, yes.
And that game was about like finding
True.
where to go next and
True. It's also it's an interesting game because a lot of the difficulty stems from whether or not you are just sticking to one challenge, or if you hit a wall, you explore and find like new powers.
yeah, or you get lost and you're
Yeah.
trying to figure out where to go and you find that there's a way you can go where you
When you said
jump over some bugs.
when you said you have a jump ability, what jump ability are you talking about?
There's dash and glide.
Yeah, okay, like the cloak expanding thing.
Yeah, and the dash as well.
Yes, yeah, the
makes-
dash is-
like those make traversing the area
Yeah,
so
do you,
easy.
Do you have the wall climb?
Yeah, did
Yeah.
have that. But I
Um,
got that just before fighting Widow, which
I
was just
think-
before stopping playing.
Yes, I think that is the only way you can get it. It's like and I think you need that to get to the last judge.
Yep.
But I also think you have to kill Widow to make it there. I'm not sure of the logic behind the scenes. But anyway, great game. Really enjoying it. Very hard. Totally understand why you dropped off, but also I kind of think if you stuck with it, you'd probably find some good stuff in there later on as well.
Yeah, it's just when games signal clarity problems, I just get tired eyes, so
Sure.
I just don't have the patience for struggling to see things.
Clarity has not really been a challenge for me. Most of the fights are pretty clear. I think, if anything, the issue becomes that some of the fights become so movement oriented that you have very few opportunities to attack,
Mm.
and the fights can become long as a result because I still have a lot of health.
Or where you're getting like one attack and then you have to dodge.
You might get one or two
A
attacks
bunch of
in.
times,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. But
Yeah, I hate that kind of thing.
do you use tools at all?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
Okay, there are some that make some of those fights trivial,
Yeah.
but you have to know. Anyway, great game. Blake, what have you been playing?
I have been playing a game that I played maybe 7 years ago and talked about on the podcast a bit. I can't remember what I said all that much, but I remember I actually was like struggling with it and I fell off it because I kind of felt like I lost my way and didn't know what I was doing and couldn't keep track of the storyline and didn't enjoy the combat.
Yeah.
I just ultimately found it frustrating. So I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, the first one, because 2 is out, and I want to.
Been out for a while.
Yeah, it's been out for a while, and I want to play that eventually.
Yeah.
But I've given this game another go, and I am really, really enjoying it. It's just clicked with me this time round. And I think the difference was last time it presents itself looking like a Skyrim.
Yeah.
And it has all those kind of features where it's like, okay, yeah, you go and get quests and you do quests.
Yeah.
Whatever, like Skyrim, sure. And you follow the points on a map and all that, just
You're
like
waiting
Skyrim.
for those
just like-
dragons.
yeah, but like it's more of it feels more like a simulator, and like getting into that mindset of like this is a simulator, and it's not like okay, I see some bandits, I'll jump off my horse and I'll go kill them. I'll see some bandits, I'll jump off my horse, and there's 3 bandits there in armor plate. And I just die. And of
Yeah.
course I do. I'm one person, not
Yeah.
wearing any plate.
Yeah.
If I, in real life, jumped off my horse and tried to fight 3 well-armored people in thing, of course I get killed.
Yeah.
And so, like, getting that mindset where it's like, okay, this is, treat it more as if what would you do in real life.
Yeah.
Has really kind of like opened up how you're supposed to play the game.
Yeah.
And this even falls into the quests. So you get a quest and there's a map that has pins on it of like where to go and stuff.
Yeah.
But that only shows like maybe quarter of what the whole quest contains.
Oh, okay.
What you really should do is think about what you would do in real life.
Right.
So early on, there was a quest where I had to investigate a massive attack at a stables.
Yeah.
And I followed some clues around and found out that, okay, these bandits attacked. I talked to everyone at the stables,
Yep.
which is what you would do in real life.
Yep.
There was nothing in the quest that said, talk to this person, talk to that
Right.
person. It was just like,
I want to find out what's going on.
it just said, investigate.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so I'll just talk to everyone. Found out that, okay, some bandits attacked in the night and they ran off north into the woods. And that triggered like the next sort of quest objective, which was like find the bandits or follow the trail.
Yep.
And I thought, after experiencing dying to like 2 people on the
Yep.
road, I'm
Yep.
like, you know what? I don't want to go in the woods alone.
Can you recruit people?
So I went back to the guy in charge who was still at the stables and gave him information on what I'd found.
Yeah.
And then he said, okay, take a couple men. And so we
Nice.
went into the forest and then we found a little camp and we
Yeah.
attacked some more. And then we found out that some more bandits were somewhere else. So I was like, I should go and report that to the guy so he knows what's going on.
Right.
So I went back, reported to him.
Yeah.
The whole force that was stationed there came into the forest
Huh.
and attacked. None of that was in
That's
the
kind of
quest.
cool.
That's fantastic.
None of that
actually.
was in the quest. It was just like investigate, follow some bandits.
Yeah.
And I know for sure last time I would not be thinking like that. I would have just been, oh, the quest
I'll
says
solo my way
Go,
through.
yeah.
'cause that's what you do in
And then
Skyrim.
you get frustrated.
And then I just
Yeah.
die, and I'm like, how am I supposed to do this? What is the game expecting me to do?
Yeah.
And so getting into that mindset of like, okay, the quests don't exactly tell you step by step.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold your hand, and I really appreciated that. Well,
Yeah.
after I did that, I felt
Sounds
like,
really refreshing.
yeah,
sounds great.
I felt
Sounds
like
really fun.
I felt like, yeah, I actually solved this thing myself
Yeah.
instead of just talk to a guy. Okay, check the quest log. Says to go over here, do
Yeah.
this and do that. Yeah, and
I
that,
wonder how could that have been signaled better to you the first time around?
With some kind of noir detective voice narrating
Yeah,
in the
I-
background.
I don't know. I think there's when you look at your quest log, there are 2 sort of panels. One shows a map. Well, one shows like your current objectives, which in this case was just investigate.
Yeah.
Another one shows the map of like where to like the sort of a radius around where to investigate. Right.
Yeah.
This is the area. But there is another panel that you can toggle that has a paragraph description of everything you've found along the way.
Okay.
And they will in there it will say things like I should talk to everyone at the stables, or I should do this, or I should report back. So it does give you kind of like hints of like what to do, but it's
Sure.
not like in your face.
But that's specific to that quest. Like it's more the issue that you faced and that you overcame was a mentality shift
Yeah.
where you went from this is a typical RPG power fantasy to this is a medieval life simulator.
Yeah.
So I wonder what like did you
I-
need to get scurvy or something? Like I don't know what do you
I don't
what-
know. I think it was
You have to just get a scratch that gets infected and you die towards the start of the game.
well,
or
you can
there's-
bleed to death if you don't have bandages on. You can be in a fight and you can win and you're bleeding and you're like, I don't have any bandages, and you just bleed to death. If
That's
it's
honestly
if
great.
it's bad enough.
Yeah.
Like
Can you get infections?
I don't think you can.
Whatever.
Not good enough. Not realistic enough.
Maybe in
Well,
a sequel.
well, actually, something that actually bugs me that is not realistic is your horse teleports. So you
Well,
can be
hang on. We
anywhere-
don't know for sure that horses can't teleport.
That's true.
No one, you can't
But if you're
disprove.
all of a sudden seeing horses teleport when you haven't
Yeah.
seen them teleport before,
I mean,
it's still surprising. They're at least more willing to
They're
show
always-
their
Yeah, it's a very
teleporting
good point.
behaviors.
So you whistle for your horse and it always appears behind you.
Yeah.
Maybe it was always behind you, just staying completely
It's
behind you.
it's
the
funny,
entire
it's just
time.
playing a funny prank on you.
Yeah, yeah.
But also, have you tried whistling for a horse?
In real life,
Outside, yeah.
you know what?
'cause-
I haven't. I can't whistle, so
Ah,
I can't do it.
Yep.
No.
There you go. Once you know how
Shunned
to
by
whistle
horses.
just the right way, the horse will teleport to you.
Yeah. So yeah, there was that yeah, really, I don't know, really just got me into the mindset that I'm really enjoying, and that leads to things like saving. So you can't just like, what do they call it, scum save, right? You can't
Yeah.
just save and then like keep save crawling, right?
Yeah.
You need to, in order to do that, you need to buy an actual like items in game that you have to have in stock,
Yeah.
and they're called savior schnapps. It's a potion.
Yeah.
And it's neat. It's a neat kind of like mechanic, but
Yeah.
it was like it was frustrating. I was like, why can't I just like save? But
Yeah.
then that's not the only save mechanic. If you sleep somewhere, it saves. So
Ah,
you are
okay.
kind of incentivized to at night or in the
When
middle
you
of the day,
see a bed,
even,
you take a rest.
find a bed. There's inns all over the place. You end up kind of getting an idea of where the inns are. So when you're traveling across the map, you can stop off at these inns
Yeah.
and just spend an hour, just sleep for an hour there, and that saves your progress. And that then adds to this like simulation feel that
Right.
you are traveling across this like countryside.
Yeah.
It's super neat. And then I know I would have had I know I had trouble with combat the first time I played.
Yeah.
Because the combat system is very, very different to Skyrim. Skyrim is just bash stuff.
Yeah.
This,
Or in my case, sneak and then shoot someone in
Sneak
the
and-
face
yeah,
with an arrow
yeah.
from 400 meters
Yeah.
away.
yeah, stealth archer.
Yeah, stuff. The classic.
Well, getting into stealth, I am going to have to start looking for specific stealth gear, because this game, trying to stealth and plate, you cannot. There's so many stats on all your gear, and noise and conspicuouscy is one of them.
And your dog.
Oh yeah, the dog. Get that dog out of there. Yeah, the dog is another thing. Yeah. So things like if you wear bright colored clothes,
Yeah.
you can be obviously seen more, and it affects your sneaking.
Yeah.
So I've found that I'll take off all my gear and then just put on the things that add to my sneaking ability, which ends up being like padded stuff and
Yep.
soft shoes and all that sort of stuff. So I basically need a second set of gear for sneaking, which
Yeah.
makes total sense. Of
Yes.
course you do. Skyrim, you're just sneaking around in full plate all
Yeah.
the time. You got fire coming out of your helmet or whatever. Nobody sees anything.
Your glowing magical
You
shield.
got
and
glowing-
no one,
yeah,
no one
yeah.
notices
Nobody
it.
sees anything, but it just again adds to that like simulation
Yeah.
feel. And then the combat itself is kind of it's kind of at first kind of tricky to get your head around.
Yep.
What I found that helped a lot was actually playing it on controller.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this is a first-person game.
Yeah.
I'm playing it on controller, and it's
Yeah.
way easier.
Huh.
And the reason for that I find is that when you initiate combat, a sort of little reticle appears
Yeah.
on your enemy, and it signals the direction you are going to swing your sword from.
Okay.
And doing that on PC, you use the mouse to kind of do that,
Yeah.
but it's too fine. It's too fine a
Right.
control. It doesn't feel it doesn't feel like you can hold your sword in a direction for very long, just because the mouse is way too sensitive.
Because you're not constantly moving the mouse in a way that you.
Well,
can
you
lean
need the
stick.
mouse. You need the mouse to also like move your character
Yes,
around. So
yes.
it gets real finicky and weird on the
Oh.
controller. You have one control that just
Yeah.
has like does that reticle thing, and you just tap it in one direction and it just stays there.
Yeah.
And so I found that so much easier, where I could like block a thing.
I wonder if
And-
is that not a control you can toggle like for PC? Are there different options? It doesn't matter.
I don't think so. They don't have many gameplay options.
Mm.
Yeah, but yeah, and I ended up slowly getting quite into the combat, where you watch what your enemy does. You wait for them to attack. You can do a sort of parry block thing.
Yep.
And then you get a hit, and if you angle it from a certain direction, you can get where they're not blocking.
Yeah.
There's also there's also stats that factor into it, like strength and all that sort of stuff, and you can go to the training grounds and just train again using wooden weapons and train
Okay.
up these things, which I did like the other day. I was like, I want to get really good in maces, because mace has blunt damage, which is better against armor. So I was like, I'm sick of dying to all these armored guys. peasants are fine. A mace will smash a peasant
Yeah.
just fine as well as a sword. It doesn't matter. But it's the armored guys that I have trouble with. So
Yeah.
I trained up in mace just by going to the training ground and continually training in mace with wooden weapons, so I'm not taking any damage.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got better, and I unlocked some. As you use just like in Skyrim, you use the thing, you use the
up.
weapon, and
Yep.
it skills up. Every few skill up, you get some abilities.
Yep.
And so I picked a few like combos and stuff, and I also trained in things like. There's other abilities called like Perfect Block and Master Strike that you can only get from training with like this what is he, like Captain of the Guard or something
Yeah.
like that. And like I didn't know that was available from the start, and I didn't know
Right.
about it. And I should have been I should have been going to this guy
Yeah.
earlier on and seeing what he had available to train in, because I was just like, oh, I'll just go out there and swing my sword around and skill up that way.
It's interesting because it sounds like a game that requires a level of thoroughness on your part
Yeah, it does.
to really get the most out of it.
How
Yeah.
how long did you have to spend with the whole training side of things?
Oh, less than an hour to get to.
That still sounds awful.
Yeah, that sounds like a long time.
Well, the training is
It
like a
sounds
literal
optional.
fight, though. It's like a literal
okay.
fight. You're fighting the guy. It's not just your
Oh, yeah.
in-game
I
skill
was
that's
picturing
going
you
up.
like hitting training dummies
No,
for
no,
like
no,
an
no,
hour
no.
to get your mace skill up.
Just like bash, bash, bash,
It's like,
bash.
this game
watching a
sounded
number
really
go
cool
up.
until
No, you actually are fighting the guy, and so it's your in-game skill is going up with the weapon,
yeah.
but your actual play skill is going up because you're
getting better
getting
at
to
it. Actually,
fight without
yeah,
having to
okay.
risk dying.
Yeah.
So I was coming into a problem the other day where I was like, man, I want to get better at fighting, but what do I have to go out and find bandits or something and then risk dying and then get swarmed by like 3 guys? Like this
Yeah.
is not good.
Tenable.
Yeah, and then I remembered there's a
a
training
training
guy.
guy.
There's a literal training guy, and there's more than one training guy around the place.
Yeah.
They also have in a recent DLC a tournament that is held, I think, every in-game week. Comes up, and you can join it, and that's great too because it's basically like fighting training, like
It's a
with
tournament.
it's a tournament. It's,
It's
but-
non-lethal for combat.
Yes, but it's
Yeah.
non-lethal exactly because any damage you take, you can completely lose all your health.
Yeah.
But then at the end of it, your health is at full again.
Right.
So with the training, it's not like that. With the actual training with the guy, so if you use wooden weapons,
Yeah.
you don't take as much damage. You'll be fine. But you can train with real weapons, and you can seriously get hurt. The first time I did it, I was like, I had to bandage myself up quickly because I was like bleeding, and then I was like, I'm gonna have to lie in bed for like 12 hours to heal this. So
I mean, in fairness, 12 hours to heal like
Yeah, I know, it's pretty
a
good.
grievous wound is
Yeah.
pretty quick in medieval times.
yeah, that was pretty good.
All right.
Especially since my bed is like basically next to the pigsties, so I'm like, hey, don't worry about an infection, I guess.
So did you already buy the sequel?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Yeah, I was eyeing it up for a while. It is a pricey game. A lot.
It is,
Boy, games
yeah.
are expensive nowadays, huh?
Yeah.
But I do want it. So if you get it, let me know. I want to hear how it is. We're well out of time.
Yeah.
How was that for the 200th episode? Very similar to the first 199. But you can email frenzyquestions@gmail.com and tell us specifically what you thought of the first 200 episodes of Frenzy Gamer. You can leave comments on our YouTube
Which was your
page.
favorite episode?
Which of the three of us is your favorite? And why? No,
Yeah.
don't tell us that. That will break us. You can find us.
Someone's going to post and it's going to be Severn.
You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all the podcast apps, on Facebook, Threads, Twitter/X. You should leave likes and comments because it's good. It's I don't know what it does. Probably some.
It's
probably,
good.
It's probably good for the algorithm. The algorithm eats it,
Yeah.
lives on them. So
And
I
it
don't know
needs
how.
to eat.
I don't know
Yeah,
how we
feed the
manipulate that algorithm. Our views are always up and down. I cannot tell what it likes and what it doesn't like.
Skibbity, toilet, Italian brain rot, 6,
I even-
7. What are the other ones? Any recent memes?
I don't know. You lost me.
Yeah.
So did it have a photo
I'm
of us
not-
dabbing on the front?
That's very recent for sure.
Yeah.
We should all be dabbing
Why don't we
with
do?
fidget
Why don't we do a
spinners, I
Harlem
think.
Shake?
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Why don't we
Yep.
plink?
Yep. Oh, we'll do a Grimace Shake video as well.
We'll be back as always in 2 weeks.
Yep.
We haven't missed it yet.
2 weeks.
Don't do the math. All right. Bye.
But
Been playing Expedition 33 as well.
I've heard that's really good too.
I've barely got I barely got into it. I'm like 5 hours in probably. But I just Kingdom Come kind of just like took over my
Yep.
week. But it's pretty good so far. I downloaded a mod though.
oh, did you?
So there's this
Does it make it feel like an early access game? Early access mod, it just breaks some menus.
it can. So there's that whole. Do you know anything about the combat system in that game?
No, not that I remember. I just heard good things about it, but
So there's this like dodging and parrying system, and it's all with timing. And sometimes I can get timing all right. Other times I don't know when the timing is, and I just like fail constantly. And I was getting too frustrated with it. Like I was just dying over and over on things that I feel like I should have
been fine with
been
it.
fine with.
Yeah.
So I ended up downloading, and there's 2 difficulty settings. There's just story mode. Oh, there's 3 difficulty settings. There's story mode, there's like normal, and then there's expert. So I switched it to story mode, but then it made the fights too easy,
Ah, yeah.
and I was taking no damage. I'm like, this isn't challenging, but the dodging felt better. So I ended up downloading a mod that just like I could keep it at the same difficulty
Story
level.
mode dodging difficulty, but
Yeah, but like
normal mode damage.
Yeah, and there was like it was really cool. I went on like Nexus mods or whatever, and there was like 5 different, or no, more than that, levels of this mod where it like increases it like by 50%, like the dodge window by like
Yeah.
50% or 100 or 200 or like 500%. But then they had ones that actually made it more difficult for people. And since I downloaded that, it's way better.
Yeah.
I even found like the right kind of caliber. Like I had it at the, like it increased the window by like 5 times, and I was like, this is too easy now. This is too easy. So I did around like I think 200. I think is.
How often do you think you fail a dodge or a parry now?
I still do fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's because it's not like it's like Dark Souls where you
You
have
just
to
roll
really.
the whole time and just don't even.
I wish. I started doing that. You just start dodging, and then like guaranteed you'll get hit.
Yeah.
Like you really have to time it, and like you just have to watch what they do, and they do that Elder Scrolls thing where they feign attacks.
Ah, nice.
And there's some way like you get into a rhythm where it's like, oh, they'll attack like 4 times, and you get into a rhythm, but then the last one is like off rhythm, so you still have to like watch for it. So it is
That's
still
nice.
challenging, and I still like get hit by stuff, but it's
Yeah.
like I actually feel like I'm actually getting somewhere now. And story wise, it's pretty cool, but like I barely scratched the surface of it.
Yeah.
I don't like ever download mods, and it's not like I don't know why. It's not something
I do it all the time. I've downloaded multiple mods. I've downloaded multiple mods for Kingdom Come Deliverance. And I downloaded one just to make my dog, that is your like sidekick dog, stop barking so much. But it had the side effect of it made all the dogs in the game stop barking. So sometimes you're sneaking through an area and there's literally dogs barking, alerting people, and you can't hear them. This is real bad.
See,
Yeah,
Don't do
but
mods.
It's I
never, not even
it's
once.
so much better without this dog constantly barking. Be like, oh my god, shut up! And it sits. It doesn't come into houses with you, but it sits at the doorway howling. I'm like, oh my god,
What?
I don't know why.
That just sounds like a bad game feature.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like everything about
Did
that.
you just fail to train your dog?
no,
you like a
my
bad
training is
dog,
like
Dad?
my training is like top.
Turns out you can just feed him. And it stops.
Yeah. Well, you can feed him.
And have you been?
You can feed him. You can pat him. You can tell
Have you
him
been
to,
doing those things?
Yeah, I've got his obedience like maxed out. He's just annoying, and he gets in the way when you're sneaking around. He'll just like literally stand like you're sneaking, like crouching, like Skyrim style, and then this dog just stands in front of you, and he's got blocking.
Why are you bringing your dog to sneak missions?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I ended up telling him to stay. I actually went online.
This might be the actual answer to that.
Well, yeah,
don't bring your dog to
part of it is me just not like working with the mechanics. But I went online and was like, this dog is so effing annoying. Like, what do I do? And I, like sneaking around and stuff. And then people were like saying, just tell him to stay before a sneak mission, and then he doesn't follow you. And I was like, oh, of course. What am I doing? Taking a dog on a sneak mission. A dog that's barking constantly on a sneak mission.
And howling whenever you go inside.
Yeah. Break into a house and he's just like, oh.